please welcome to the stage, Joe Jacob. Welcome. Nice to see you all. This is good, isn't it? Welcome to Ripe. Give it up. Give it up for my DJ. Give it up for DJ Chocolate Thunder holding me down.
I'd point out that is a sanctioned DJ name, not casual racism, it's fine.
It's great to see you all here. This is Ripe. I'm Joe Jacobs. I'm a Jew. Right, got one in. It's fantastic, good to have you in. Joe Jacobs' Jewish name, isn't it? You know, it might as well be Jacobs. Just a step up from Adam. See. Right, is everyone since this is Ripe, has everyone eaten? Should we feed them? Run the tune. Alright, make some noise for this one. Who's hungry? Nothing worse than a groaning chest. That good shit I'm prone to ingest. Yes, my plate's more full than Tony S. Munch never slack at this. Sweet potato chips, barbecue, rack and ribs. Bars I'm pitching in the kitchen, an efficient task. My line surpass 3 Michelin stars. I'm chilling in bars with dark rum concoctions, a thin one, but still rinse funds on dim sum often. Flicker walk to this and often miss. My glass half full of the lobster bisque. I keep it gourmet. Treats I eat all day and they similar to the beats I feast upon and saute in the deli fairly often. Consume, make bacon, cream cheese, bagels like a good Jew. I could prove I got more capers in the pan 4 seasons, but I'm picking jerk chicken, salt fish, rice and peas in. Let my words marinate. Never leave a barren plate. Trust you can't fathom mate. The ill cuisine I'm endorsing. 7 courses forced in dreams of eating portions of the naked Nigella Lawson. A food fact. Everyone's suitably. Yeah, we got some crisps there? Alright, Wheeler, we're good to go. Works. Yeah, thank you. Should have bought more food, but I'm used to performing the show to 3 people at the Edinburgh Festival. So like I said, I'm Joe Jacobs. I am a Jew. Quite neurotic man. I got the typical Jewish mother. Type of woman that introduces and insults me in the same sentence. Says things like, "This is my son Joseph, he's very skinny." A lot of misconceptions about the Jews. People think we got all kinds of power. I categorically tell you that is incorrect, because I'm struggling. I'm not a black comedian, so they can't put me on a black channel. I'm not an Asian comedian, so I can't go on an Asian channel. They won't even put me on the Jew channel, which apparently is all the channels. Got myself a Jewish penis. Got a fan in, that's good. That's why you didn't want the picnic, eh? Hey, so have we got any other cut lads in tonight? Right, you sir?
The what? I didn't hear what you said.
Useful for a video recording. What are you packing, mate?
No,
Give me some skin, brother. It's good to have you in. Circumcision is a strange one, isn't it? Rabbis often defend it in a similar way. They'll say things like, "Oh, it's a tradition that's been around for many thousands of years." Little rabbi impression there. In those days, there was less hygiene available. Hygiene, valid reason for the snip, of course, but someone should tell these rabbis about the technological advancements we, as a society, have since made. You know, in the field of shower gel, for one thing. A little bit of Lynx Africa could have saved me a medical procedure. That's what I'm saying. I'm Jewish, but I'm not religious. Never really felt accepted by the Jewish community. Never really felt accepted by the Gentile community. That's probably because I call them the Gentile community. which doesn't help. It's weird being a non-religious Jew, though. For example, a black person could be discriminated against for being black, and they'll never not be black, right? But a non-religious Jew can be discovered as a Jew, and he's a sneaky Jew. Really no way to escape the stereotype sometimes, and that is the reason why I was reluctant to call my show last year Orthodox Joe. I thought it might attract the wrong kind of people. But the reality was much more terrifying. The name attracted a very large, elderly North London Jewish contingent who would arrive and leave vocally 15 minutes into every performance. All right, I'm not going to dwell too much on the Jew shit. Let's just wrap up my opinions on Judaism with a short rap diddly. Jew grind. Bound to make sound from birth, crown the most off-key on this earth. Clued into the drum kick, not got a long dick, hey, at least I got girth. My point is each verse I'm spitting, cut more persistent than my circumcision. Like everyone forget religion, but it beeves on. Get consistent, any song you ever make, I know that. In it for the love, that's a cold fact. Bunch of bagel drop bold raps that stay on your dome like a skull cap. Hip hop off, I mean, that's enough, they get the idea, I'm Jewish. I'm trying to make them. I'm a Jew. Jewish comedians are contractually obliged to mention that at the top of every set, so I'm just doing the admin there. That is not what this show's about. This is right, but I don't believe in the afterlife. I've got to worry about this life. You know, we're going to analyse 3 areas of life using the metaphor of the humble Nana. Tell me about the Nana. Such a phallic mind, I think. What about the 3 colours of the banana? What happens to a banana? What are the 3 colours it goes through?
Green, yellow, brown.
Correct, yeah. Green representing youth, yellow, that middle period, and then the brown years, the mature end of life. We're going to discuss all 3. It's nice that we've got a lovely demographic of people. We've got some yellows in. A few greens and some brown people. Everybody is welcome. That's a fruit thing, of course. So let's start at the beginning. Youth. You know, did you have a good childhood? Yeah. Man, a few words in my front row, aren't you? No wonder you got the fucking empty seat next to you. Jesus Christ. I had a nice childhood-ish, but I wouldn't want to be a kid now. I think there's a lot of pressure on the youth of today, you know? Overwhelming. A lot of technology, it's out of control. I'm a bit of a Luddite, you know, I'm only just getting used to tech speak. I like tech speak. I like how you can send someone a text message and put a kiss at the end of it so they know you're not being too passive aggressive. It's a shame you can't do that as an adult in real situations, like a job interview or something. Unfortunately, we've spoken with a number of participants and we feel you're not quite appropriate for this particular role, I'm afraid. Quite good. Technology's coming in, you know, like take this black cab Uber thing. Where do you guys stand? Black cabs?
Yes. No.
One man. Uber? Yeah! Of course. You know, I think black cabs are kind of on the way out. I think they're going to be a tourist attraction soon. You know, you might, like a horse and car. Go around one in Hyde Park. The cabbie up front just going, fuck! I'm not being racist. That'll be 84 quid, mate. Black cabs, of course, they got the knowledge, haven't they? They got the fucking knowledge. Fucking knowledge. Some of these Uber drivers, they got knowledge too, right? Fleeing the Kosovan War. Travelling the Atlantic Ocean on a fucking barrel. Pretty good knowledge. And the cross. The internet is great. I'm a big fan of the internet. I think it's got a bit out of control recently. You know, a lot of social media shaming going on. It's like modern gallows humour. It's like young people can't make mistakes anymore. Like, for example, back in February, the London Dungeon got in trouble for making fun of dead women on Valentine's Day on Facebook. I don't know if anyone saw that. They were saying things like, Jack the Ripper wants to Netflix and kill. It wasn't particularly funny, but there was a big uproar, and I think a bit the perspective is needed, you know, because it is the London Dungeon. Given that their whole business is based on torture, They're not allowed any commentary on murder whatsoever. It's not like Chessington World of Adventures got on Twitter and said, Rolf Harris is innocent. The right ballpark, that's what I'm saying. Best thing about it was reading the angry comments from mothers on Facebook after it happened. They were saying things like, I've seen your content, London Dungeon, and I am absolutely disgusted. And having serious second thoughts about bringing my young son Oliver to your experiential super stabby Jack the Ripper multimedia interactive experience. Internet gives everyone a voice, everyone an opinion, and I don't think everybody should have either. You know? Don't need to hear from everybody all the time. You know, like you said, what's your go-to porn site? Yeah. Going through the Rolodex, are you? Shall I come back to you?
Yeah, fast to, yeah.
Tell me your favourite porn site. I think everyone in this room needs to know at this point.
No.
God. Mr. Personality, hit me up. What you got?
Anything to do with Jews, really, isn't
Oh, God. What an esoteric heckle that fucking was. What do you do with that? I mean, I'd love to know what a Jew-based porn site would look like. I can't even imagine. The only reason I asked was, I don't know if you're aware, but guys can review and vote on porn videos. Did you know this? Yeah. Yeah? One pervert at the back. Good. Very proudly announcing it. That's good. Good. Performing to an audience of liars, though, tonight. They didn't know that. I think it's fascinating. I mean, who is the man that is watching a porn and then writing, well, admittedly, I did come. But I must say the cinematography and lighting was lacking, I'm afraid. It's a thumbs down from me on that one. A thing called the dark web online drugs marketplace. I had a little look around there. I noticed someone had left a review for black tar heroin. And reading this thing, you would have thought he was talking about a Kindle on Amazon. The item arrived as described. After finally sampling some of the product, I can now report my life has been ruined. 5 stars. Fucking Nazis are coming back. Yeah. Alt-right. Charlottesville, Nazis are back in town, baby. I'd go as far as to say that Hitler and Stalin are in many ways like the Biggie and Tupac of genocide. They're always coming out with new stuff, that's my point. Enduring fan base. I seem to have lowered the tone with my Nazi stuff, so let's liven this up a bit. Radical Islam. Yeah, you could have chose a worse noise for that, so good job. A lot of radical Islam problems going on at the moment. You know, young people today are ripe for radicalization. I've been reading about the Quran recently. You know, the Quran, Allah's word transmitted through the Prophet Muhammad, said to be pure Arabic. But some scholars in recent years, they said it might be Syriac or Arabic, which would mean mistranslations in the text. So, for example, Huris, a word in the Quran that refers to the 72 white-eyed virgins a martyr might receive in paradise. Now, the Syriac translation of that same word is 72 white grapes. Delicacy of the time, it's a bit different, isn't it? That means a lot of radical jihadis are committing very horrible crimes, you know, and to be greeted in paradise by a fucking fruit bowl, potentially. Maybe they should chill out on the Death to the West and just have an innocent smoothie or something. Don't know about you, but I would slap a man for a banana, tops. I was talking about the dark web before. A friend of mine, he's a school teacher, he told me kids in his class, the green ones of today, kids as young as 12, going on the dark web with their Bitcoin. They're using it to purchase illegal credit card information, hotel rooms, bags of drugs, having big old parties. Is that not mad? Yeah. Just to put that in perspective, when I was 12, they banned us from having pogs at school. That might have partly been my fault. In those days, my sister had a pog maker, and my uncle had a stack of hardcore pornographic magazines. During the summer of '98, I made Worlds Collide. I've got young sisters, they don't know about those simpler times before the internet, you know, the joys of the '90s. They don't know about football stickers. Anyone collect football stickers? One man. Yeah. I collected football stickers, I didn't even like football. You know, I just wanted to be a part of something. I think collecting football stickers is a wonderful introduction to the capitalism that is to come. But, you know, so as you get older, you realise life is a big Panini sticker book you're never going to complete. Yeah. Remember Got Need? Remember that? That just continues into adulthood, doesn't it really? You know. Comedy career need. Low self-esteem got. Poor posture got. Girlfriend swap. And it's quite useful. So I think. Remember push pops from the 90s?
Yeah.
Those kind of phallic things. Kid would go in the tuck shop, buy one, just fucking chow it down all day. You know? Like smoke. Fruit beer, push out, it never end. It's a wonderful introduction to the capitalism that is to come. In more ways than one, because people in my school, they used to suck on their push pops until they became very sharp at the end, kind of like a playground shank. They would take everyone else's confectionery. Dog eat dog world. Remember the slogan for the push pop? Don't push me, push a push pop. What a heartwarming advertising campaign that was. Basically saying, don't rebel in any way, shape or form against the society you'll sooner be thrust into. Just stick a thumb up this and consume. There we go. Sipping hooch in a naf bomber jacket. Heavy hitter like Hemmer with the tennis racket. Kelly Brooks Hughes.
Presenting skills.
What a goal, might go blockbusters. Ren Waterworld, Fred West, and Eric Cantona kick Sanjay. And Gita's house got bricked. Curtains on top, smoking pubs to unwind. Beware.
Dog shit makes you go blind.
We can't carry more except a VHS and Michael Barrymore. Spice Girls, E17, a fine sound. 999, Hugh Grant, Divine Brown. Millennium Bar, pops that you push. CDs from Woolworths, pulled from a bush. McCain microchips, Rolf Harris looking shifty. No friends you can call. I feel like rap music is letting me down a little bit. It's not as inspirational as it used to be. I think these days rap music is a lot like a CV set to rhyme. Yeah. I grew up in an impoverished area, but I've always been a bit of a hustler. Sold large quantities of drugs. I was actually nominated as Salesman of the Year in my town. What are my weaknesses? Bit of a perfectionist. Oh, and homophobia. Rappers can be homophobic sometimes. But I think I've got faith in the greener today. They're a very progressive society. I think the stigma of being gay and rapping will probably fade out soon. I think pretty soon we can expect the first openly gay rapper that gets to the top of that very difficult industry based on sheer talent alone. And that's going to be very exciting. You know? Not only will this guy defeat you lyrically, it'll be fabulous. Well, I don't know. Yeah? I think rap is quite gay anyway. You agree with that? Yeah, a bunch of lads writing poems for each other. Heavy emphasis on shopping and style. Trainers, earrings, trousers very low, revealing their bottoms. I once heard a song recently and it said, I'm gonna lick man down, I'm a shower man down, I'm a lick man down, I'm a shower man down. It turns out he was actually referring to using a firearm, so he was threatening, not flirting. You know, rappers do that thing, they say no homo after a statement that could be construed as gay. You heard that? You know, I come so hard, no homo. Rappers at the moment are actually saying their sexual orientation, just to be clear now. Yeah, the tape's dropping Friday, excited for that to hit the roads. Man's probably going to celebrate with a few drinks and smoke a few penises. Straight. So that's the youth. I'm currently going into the yellow section. Well, I'm in the yellow. I am in the yellow section of my life right now. It's not all fun and games. It's hard. Do you want to hear about some of the struggles of being a yellow man? Don't sound too fucking excited. Jesus Christ. Do you want to hear some of the trials and tribulations of being a yellow man? Run then. Some of this real shit I'm facing. No fucking joke, straight. My father won't hug me. The pub's not showing the rugby. Nearly caught a bus and thought somebody would love me. Went to IKEA with the girlfriend, nothing but drama. M&S was shot, forgot the Sky Plus panorama. Now my colleague isn't backing me. This roast has a lack of meat. No seats on the tube, iPad ran out of battery. Phone was on silent so late, in a manic mood. Plus my housemates been drinking my organic juice. Tapas bar subpar, brown sauce ain't HP. Just ran out of space for stolen music on this HD. Cigarettes are going at an alarming speed. Pret a Manger just sold out of edamame beans. Someone has the same clothes, new low. Been the butt of a few jokes. Broadband speed too slow. No milk in the fridge. This shop has absurd staff. Lost my friends. Rents don't visit my bird box. Make me wanna kill a motherfucker. Make me wanna kill a motherfucker. Straight. There you go. So that's where I am. I'm in the yellow years right now. It's a strange time. I've got a lot of friends. I only hire the best.
I'm not going to retort.
You just did, I think. Look what you've done to my room.
Yeah, that was all me.
So like I said, I'm a yellow man. I'm in this time of my life now. A lot of my friends are getting married, having kids, buying houses. I'm starting to ask myself if I'll ever be ready to settle down in that way. But luckily the economy has made that decision for me. No. Currently in a house share with approximately 15 Italians at the moment. These guys like to walk around half naked, towel around their waist, wearing flip-flops, as they head to the bathroom clutching their own personal toilet roll. I think you can tell a lot about that kind of behaviour. I think there are two types of people in this world. Those that would share a square, and those that would rather see you caked in your own shit and lend a helping hand. Only place worse than where I'm staying is where I live when I do comedy. I did a show in Glasgow recently, ended up at a £7 a night hostel. It was exactly what you'd expect. Bed bugs, Lithuanian man crying, drinking cans all night. You get what you pay for. I told one of my yellow friends about it and he couldn't believe what he was hearing. He said, why on earth would you put yourself through that? Why would you stay somewhere like that? And I said, listen mate, you wouldn't understand. You don't hate yourself. When you're about to book a £7 a night hostel in Glasgow, a little voice will come in your head and it will say, whoa, 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 what are we doing? There's a Premier Inn down the road, let's go there. Competitive rates, lovely clean sheets, breakfast in the morning, they'll look after us, that's what we deserve. When I'm about to book a £7 a night hostel in Glasgow, a little voice comes in my head and says, yeah, this is the place. Looks like a real shithole, I think we'll fit in here nicely. It's what we deserve. My girlfriend wants to settle down. I love my girlfriend very much. She does drive me a bit mad. She's a big fan of the hypothetical argument. If you've experienced this before, she'll say things to me like, if you were single and you bumped into my friend Chloe in a nightclub, would you sleep with her? It's not enough for this woman to be angry at the things I'm doing in reality. She wants to throw me in the Matrix as well. Her brain isn't enough, she wants to get in mine too. I had a dream the other night. I woke up in the morning and said, I had a dream last night, your friend Claire was in it. And she looked at me and said, Claire? Was it a sex dream? And I said, no. And then she said, am I ever in your dreams? And I said, no. She got very angry at this point. I tried to tell her, listen, my dreams are a place of sanctuary, nothing much happens in the dreams. Besides, you control my phone bill, you control my diary. Can I please have my subconscious? I get a lot of phone calls from my girlfriend. I get a phone call in the morning, lunchtime, afternoon, after work, and before bed. She likes to tell me what she got up to during the day. Think about up to date at that point. It's not the amount of calls that bothers me, it's the fact that very much is said, very little information is conveyed in the call. She'll say things like, hey, how I just thought I'd check up on you, see what you're doing. Yeah, Miranda's off sick, I've got the place to myself actually. I might go to Pret a Manger, get one of those slimmer sandwiches. I've been watching my weight a little bit recently. I might go take it to the park actually, have some nibbles over there. It's quite chilly there for October, isn't it? It's like listening to the worst audiobook ever. I've never dreamed of calling up one of my male friends and saying, you alright mate? Yeah, lunch-wise, not sure what I fancy. Making fun of her a lot, but yeah, I do love her. We're very similar in some ways. We're both worried we're not in our prime. You know? She showed me a picture recently from a few years ago. She goes, what do you think of this? And I said, yeah, it's beautiful, you look great. She looked at the picture, looked back at me, looked at the picture, looked back at me, looked at the picture and said, what are you trying to say? You're trying to say you prefer that to this. You're trying to say you prefer me then to now. That's what you're trying to say. She was jealous of herself, guys. It's important to keep gaining wisdom in your yellow years and trying to keep learning about sexism at the moment. Learning about the expectation society place on women. They're judged if they're not married at a certain point, judged if they're not having kids at a certain point, objectified in the media, underrepresented in comedy. Read about the wage gap, of course. And I'll be absolutely devastated if any of my fellow female performers didn't receive the 0 pence I did for tonight's gig. Read about catcalling. Women get catcalled a lot by builders. Hashtag not all builders, but some. And even when the builders get reported to senior management, they just become more creative with catcalls. Instead saying things like, good morning. That's a lot harder to report, isn't it? Lads, women don't like to be catcalled. If you're going to catcall a woman, make it something positive at the very least. For example, ooh. Let me finish. I bet you got a BA Honours. Get your thesis out for the lads. Been reading about fat shaming, body shaming, resting bitch face, of course, and manspreading. Mansplaining. We all know what mansplaining is. Mansplaining is it's when a man explains something. It's when a man explains something to a woman. Guys. When a man explains something to a woman, just kind of patronising. All good? Great. Most important part about this newfound knowledge is I'm able to call out sexist as in when I see him. I was able to do this recently. I was with a friend of mine. He's a geezer. That's a geezer noise there, of course. We're walking down the street. This woman crosses the road in front of us. He starts nudging me, saying, cool, fucking hell, look at that, eh? Would you, eh? Would you? And I want to be a geezer too, but I also have this new enlightenment, you know, so I compromised. And I said, yes, I would. Yeah, I'd love to value her opinion. Change man. So things haven't worked out for me in these yellow years, really. I'm not married, I might not have kids, who knows, but it could all change in the brown years ahead, you know. Might get a dog. Big dog fan? Any dog fans in?
Yeah.
What's your dog's name? Bertie. I love dogs so much I wrote a rap song about being a dog, and I'm going to dedicate it to Bertie. Right. What a beautiful day. Hey! Hoo! Wake up, run on the grass, I sprint, what a blast. Looking for arse to sniff, pause. I got 4 of them, let's take a walk. Should I be your friend? My tail's wagging, tongue's hanging. Out my mouth, check the bone I'm bragging. Often sleep, never deep in thought. Still my kind help blind people walk my bike. Ain't as big as my bark. Stick my head out windows in the car. Run a lot, but I never tire. Meals made for me, that's what I require. Proof indoor situations die. I'm most happy when I'm in front of a fire. But fireworks, confess I hate it. Pacing like I'm not domesticated, but I guard you. I get loud at men by tables, never too proud to beg. I like bouncy balls, finding sticks, drink from a hose, dive in shit. Chase my tail, scratch my ear. Roll around, catch a sphere. When outside, prone to race. Rub my belly, I'll lick your face. I can eat 10 meals a day, then chase a squirrel through a field of hay. Let's play newspapers, I leave destroyed. Please get me another squeaky toy. Sits apart in a chosen pet. Fur's long, nose is wet, wear a collar. It don't reduce my speed, take me to the park and remove my lead. Where the bitch is at, 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 where the bitch is at. I'm a chasing cat. Wait. There you go. Yeah. You know, things could turn around in the brown years, you know. I know one thing, as you get older, you got to look after yourself more. This time last year, I had a bit of a nervous breakdown. My doctor told me to not refer to it as a nervous breakdown. She said that is too dramatic a term. She said to refer to it as an episode. But to be honest with you, it was more like a season finale. Previously on Joe Jacobs. Fuck! A lot of talk about mental health at the moment. A lot of billboards saying, talk about your mental health. Tell us about your mental health. Explain your fucking mental health. The point is, some people might not want to talk about it. Right? You know why some people might not want to talk about their mental health? Because it's fucking mental. Imagine being with a colleague after work and he says, you watched the game last night, did you? No, I was at home paranoid, actually. Suicidal and self-harming. Sorry, I mean, yes, I did. Scalzi, what a ball. Didn't get much help from the workplace during this time of my life, you know. Despite the fact I spent so much time with my colleagues, they were basically like a work family. You know, I had a work dad, quite intimidating. I had a work mum, very maternal, I wanted to impress her. I even had a work wife. And I remember saying to her one day, you gotta help me, you're my work wife. And it resulted in real legal proceedings. I'm not cut out for the corporate world. You know. The other day someone came in my office, introduced themselves to me, they said, John Reynolds, MBA. I panicked and just said, Joe Jacobs, FU. Another language going on in the workplace, everyone's pinging emails. You've been pinged emails before? Yeah, ping you an email. Ping you an email. I'll definitely ping you an email. I recently found out that pinging an email is the same as emailing an email. Just been sent by a different kind of person, isn't it? Kind of person that meets for a quick catch up at the end of play, send off the deets as soon as possible. A twat, in other words. Can't deal with the social media jargon in my office. Someone came up to me recently, they said, are you on Slack? I'll Slack you it. Another day, another meeting, someone said, I think you'll find that function is available on Hootsuite. The other month someone approached me and said, here are our learnings from JITL. And I lost it at that point. I said, what the fuck is JITL? And he looked back at me and said, JITL is our new community manager. Working in an office, it really affected the rap career. This is how everything sounded after a few years in an office. Make some noise if you work in an office. Here's some office-based trap, day in the life. Leave at 8 on a set sail. Positive outlook, so I excel. Ping the deeds, bomb with the team. By then you know I got next mail. On this ting, I'm a corporate drone. Disagree, man, I reach for the Google Chrome. Q3 files synced in.
Shouts out to my colleagues on LinkedIn.
Deliverables have been okay. Then a play training day, all expenses paid. Load up Word, get murking. Frappuccino, networking. Printed sheets, scan it still. PowerPoints I plan to fill. Stapler don't prefer to loan. Disagree, I'll make man work from home. Hope I don't have to work when I'm old and brown, man. Yeah. What's the worst job you've ever had in your life, sir?
Picked peppers once.
You've been waiting to talk about this for a while. It's okay, you're with friends. I pick peppers too. My worst job was working for Domino's Pizza in Leeds. They wouldn't give me the thermal jacket they gave all the staff unless I paid for it out of my own wages. Which of course I couldn't because I worked for fucking Domino's. So instead I had to travel the Arctic conditions of the north in a shirt. These were very tough times. Took a lot of care in that kitchen though, preparing the products. Polishing the pepperoni. It's not a euphemism, I did not love pizza that much. Everything I made was lovingly put in a box, gently nudged into my car. Put out a protective arm if I hit the brakes too hard. And each one of my deliveries were done by hand in one of those heat-proof bags. And that's about the exact moment I realised this fucking pizza has a better quality of life than I have. Even though it's about to be devoured by 3 stoned university freshers. It still wouldn't change places with me. And why would it? That pizza was ripe. You know what I'm saying? It was in the prime of its life. People waiting to see it with money. Center of attention, chauffeur driven to its destination. It's like a doughier Ed Sheeran. Getting older, things are changing. The older you get, your priorities change, your drug taking changes. Last few years ago on a night out, I might have said to someone, "Hey mate, you got any coke?" These days, I'm more likely to say to someone, "Hey mate, have you got any Gaviscon?" Get on the Gaviscon. You ever get on the Gaviscon? Yeah, talk to me after. I actually picked up some stuff the other week. Good shit. Yeah. Ended up double dropping. By the end of the night, I was absolutely relieved. Different drugs. I'll give you another example. I went to the States on the way back, had to deal with Homeland Security. This guy found a pill in my pocket. He took me to one side. He said, "Step over here, sir. What is this? This is a pill. Can you tell me what is it for, sir?" "What is this for?" "What is it for?" And I said, "Anxiety." Continue. Done with proper drugs. I went on a stag weekend to Amsterdam recently. Kind of too many of them. My girlfriend thinks a lot of infidelity happens on the stag weekend. That is not my experience. Not much infidelity, a lot of inadequacy, that's what I think. So I was feeling sorry for myself. I thought I'd have a chuff on the old spleen. Is that what the kids call it? For old time's sake. Had a quick blast. Almost had a season 2 finale off that shit. It was very strong. I made my excuses and I walked to Dam Square. Walked around that pillar they have there for 45 minutes. I look like a buffering human being. That is not correct weed etiquette. Rappers smoke a lot of weed, don't they? I used to think that was very cool growing up. But as I got older, I realized self-medication is a dangerous crutch. You know, what we're seeing is a physical manifestation of their vulnerability. I used to be impressed by it, and these days I'm just very worried about them. I think weed smoking is hip-hop's response to real mental health issues. Because these guys, they've got to be aspirational. So they could either say, "Hey, hey, 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 smoke weed every day." Or, "Hey, hey, 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 I'm clinically depressed. That's why I always liked garage music as a kid. Any garage fans?
Yeah.
I love garage music. It's an honest form of music. I identified with the garage MC a great deal. It always sounded like they were having a full-blown panic attack during every performance. Which we demonstrate. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey. Bubbly, 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 pressure, pressure. I've been saying, oh my gosh, crikey, crikey. Hey, this was absolutely mental. Crikey, crikey. I will know about DJ, that was mental. Good old garage. I was suddenly interested in the nectar card. Got a nectar card? No, you're a young man. And they used to say to me, have you got a nectar card? I used to think, no way, you big square, I'm straight. Right? These days I'm thinking, fuck it, tell me more. That is a sad day. I don't think any of my heroes have a nectar card. I don't think Skepta has a nectar card, does he? Bet Adrian Childs has got a nectar card. Tim Lovejoy's got a nectar card. Tony Robinson probably excavated the original nectar card. When they say to you, have you got a nectar card? What I actually hear in my mind is, so have your dreams turned to nothing? Yeah. I mentioned mental health. You've got to look after your physical health as you reach these final brown years. I'm going to have to give the gym another go soon. I'm not a fan of the gym. There's only so many middle-aged men I can watch blow-drying their pubes a day. I don't know why they do that. If I'm in a room naked, surrounded by other naked men, do you know what item of clothing I'm going to put on first? My underpants. Naked middle-aged man in a gym. Oh. You know what he goes for first? Socks. You know what he goes for next? Shirt. You know what's after that? It's a fucking tie, in my experience. Last time I went to a gym, this was what happened. I was in the changing room. I've just done my little workout. Which in itself is not very funny, but thank you. I am aware I've got the posture of a quaver. That's why I'm in the gym. Anyway, there's a man in there blow drying his pubes, right, as I mentioned. And he was really going for it. Right, he was really giving it some... He was stroking them. He was cradling them. He was keeping them safe and warm. And I remember thinking to myself, this old man's pubes has got a better quality than that. And that is the message of this show in many ways. We're in a very divisive time, you know. A lot of labels being thrown around. Old white man, that's a pejorative term now, you know. I got the Jewish label. I don't particularly want it. You know, I did it a bit tonight saying you're green, you're yellow, you're brown. But the truth is, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. You can do whatever you want at any time. You know, and I've met dickheads of all colours, persuasions, races, right? Met some yellow dickheads, some, white dickheads, black dickheads, Muslim dickheads, Jewish dickheads, old white dickheads. Give me a nationality.
French.
Now that's a pretty easy one, but yeah. The point is this, you know, every time I meet one of these dickheads, I reset my brain. You know? 'Cause I don't want to be judged as a dickhead by reputation. I don't want to be judged as a dickhead by proxy. I think we should all judge each other as dickheads on our own merits. I think we're almost done, yeah? I need to wrap up this narrative thread I've crafted. Do you like my set design, by the way? I'm going to introduce to the stage, to sing us out, my good friend Simba. Make some noise for Sim, everybody.
Who's right tonight? You made it right. Yeah! Cause I'm as right as a motherfucker. Fill me open, baby. Stick a finger with me, I'm done. That's right.
Jacob J, man with a plan known to jam. Nervous like an anus stuffed with hash on a plane home from Dam. More nervous than discovering a pube on your beer. I'm here till they make you a lobster tube a career. Still ever so persistent. Friends becoming distant. This shit I spit so next Jamal won't listen. Rising rent prices, countries in crisis. They unpopular like Israeli moonlighting for ISIS. But you tune to listen. It's true that I value the vision. My mission don't be overrun on a page with malnutrition. Lost my marbles even though I scoured the yard. Still another level cause I've named hours with bars. I got dreams of features, providing me Maldivian beaches, but I'm ducking leeches, more hot-headed than features. Rap recordings won't find a word of your pro. I am Joe Jacobs, thank you very much for coming to the show.
I'm